Hello, so just a little explanation video for the homework on drawing an interior in the style of Patrick Caulfield. So the first step on this task is to take a photograph of your house. Now, when you're of an interior, of a room in your house, this was the first one I took of my living room. And then I took one using a different function so I could see more of it, because what we need are these, what would be horizontal lines that are heading away from the viewer to find our vanishing point. And I didn't feel there was as many on there as there could be. So what I did was, when I'm taking a picture, it comes out on this mode first with this one here. If you click on the one that takes it out further, you get more of a view than on your regular one. So there's a top tip on taking the pictures. Perhaps experiment with that. That may give you more detail in your picture. You won't be so close up in a room. Okay. So once you've got the picture that you want, you need, I'm going to use this one. You need to find the vanishing point. And the way we do that, if you remembered when we had printed off pictures, we would draw lines extending these horizontal lines that are heading away from the viewer until we find the point at where they all meet, the vanishing point. So if I was going to extend this line here on the top of the windows, the doors, if I was on a piece of paper, I would draw it. I'd draw a line, my ruler steady, across there. And then I do one from another line, so perhaps the top of this cupboard unit here, try and get it really, really on that line, cross over. Now I've tested several of these lines, the sides of the sofas here, the fronts of the sofas, the different shelving units on here, and I think my vanishing point is about there. Okay, so once I know where my vanishing point is, I'm happy with it, I'll put a dot on my paper. That's going to be that point, and I'm going to draw everything coming from that point. So if I draw on painting, perhaps, that was about there, and that's sitting on that kind of bookshelf thing, so I could do some lines for that one. And then I think I would perhaps do the back of this room. So I've got that part. Well, if I measure out where this other painting comes from, so if I'm happy that that bookshelf ends, say there, and somewhere similar on the other side, then there's room for this plant, and then this painting starts a bit higher than that one, this one here, and it's a bit larger. So I put this one, kind of comes down here. I can't see the bottom because that sofa's in the way, and the sofa arm comes somewhere between these two shelves. So you always look in at proportions as well as to where things are coming from. So there's the end of that sofa. So the wall is probably going to come to about here. And on the other side, I've got this kind of light, and then there's a poster on this side. Now the gap between there and there, that is bigger, so that should be fine. That poster's a similar size to this, that's a little bit above. So as you're drawing things and trying to find the sizes, just remembering to imagine how big or small they are compared to other things. I've probably done that a bit big, so I'll bring that in a tiny bit. So that's about there for now. We can always change things later. Now, we can't see the edge of the wall here, but we can see where this bookshelf thing ends. So I'd say that was about that far there. So I'm going to do a line for that one. If we do a line for this wall, trying to keep that straight. So all the lines I'm going to draw, more or less, I always say all, and then there'll be some that won't, but the majority of the lines that we're going to draw follow the rules of vertical, horizontal, or heading to the vanishing point. So if I can get my this top back, not that, let's get that off there, this back wall here, So where the wall meets the ceiling, if we join that, now these lights are kind of in the way a little bit, but I'm just going to see where they go. So as I want to see the walls coming out from these sides, this is where I'm starting to use my vanishing point. So from here, that's got to go there, because it's going from the vanishing point and coming away. And it will need to be the same from this side. So from here, get to that corner, and that's going to go out that way, okay? Same when we're now starting to draw the sofa. Just move that there so I can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can still see that more or less. So I'm drawing, I just put my thing up because it's hard to see. There we go, is that a bit better? So pencil on the vanishing point, anchor that ruler, figure out where the bottom of this sofa is coming from here, so it's just about near to there, about here. So this is going to be the top kind of cushion of my sofa, and then I'll move the anchor, and then the bottom part of that front cushion, probably doesn't go that deep, but it's going to be there. It comes back here, I can't even see the glare. Okay, so there's an arm there, and that comes this way as well. So we're just going horizontal, vertical. Now here's one where it changes because the cushions are kind of on a funny angle there, so we'll let them go on their angle. But the one coming this way has to head to the vanishing point, the top line of those cushions. So I'm going to put those in there, okay? And the bottom of the cushions as well need to head towards that vanishing point. So although the cushions themselves might be on a jaunty angle, come there. Now this one is going to be horizontal, coming across the arm. And we'll just sketch that in. Sketch the back. Now I've got this great big table thing in front, so that kind of cuts off a lot of what's going on at the bottom here. If I get the windows in, these are going to be using the vanishing points. So anchor into that vanishing point, top of those doors or windows, and then the bottom. We haven't got this bottom coming out, have we? So imagine the corner of the room, if that's the floor, I think the corner's about here. So this one is going to come out, say there, okay? Then vertical lines. And if we want more of these, that would be the horizontal, they must go towards that vanishing point. So we put these lines in here, anchor it on there to get those bottom bits in. Okay, so you see the room starts to look a bit more 3D. We'll do the same on this side. So we've got our bookshelves. I'm kind of ignoring these lights for a minute, but they are actually going to take over some of this, aren't they? But one there, that starts to come that way, and then the cupboards just come down, so go those, that's the end of it there, and from this shelf kind of comes out a little bit, so I need another one from the vanishing point for that kind of lip there that comes out. And then we'll have, that's divided into 3 vertical lines in there. And then you can kind of see inside a bit where they come in. Right, I can't see them, I'm just about to put them in, but I'm not looking carefully enough because if From the angle we're at, we won't be able to see those. Okay, and then the sofa. That's kind of the basis between these two here, I'd say. So that part of the sofa there comes up, goes across, and the cushion's kind of on maybe not quite that sharp an angle. The top has to come from the vanishing point, although they're a little bit, you know, they're not exactly straight, but the general line will be coming from here. You can, once you know where they are, you can perhaps make them a little bit more natural. Then from here, we've got this side, so just verticals and horizontals coming this way to get that sofa in. Even the midline of those cushions, that weird thing, will be more or less heading towards there, but you can then kind of perhaps make it look a bit more natural. Okay, so I've got the basics in. There'll be a few more bits. I need that horizontal line coming here. Change that cushion a bit. Add a few more little details. But for all the lines where you need to use your vanishing point, we're more or less about there. I will add some more details, so I'll sketch on. I'll need different bits of these bookshelves here. I'll add on some books, I'll add on some plants, whatever else, but that is just your kind of freehand drawing, looking at what's there more or less. You can always zoom into, it's not a very good quality picture. Maybe for the details I go back to the first picture. This one seems to be, you know, like a better quality. Now, if for this week you get a pencil sketch of your room, I'm going to be very, very happy with what you've done. On the original homework, I've said the next steps after this are to then do it in pen, and then we're going to add colour in the style of Patrick Caulfield. But as you can see, this has taken me 12 minutes to do this, and I would imagine it's going to take you probably about half an hour to get this drawn in pencil, and that is all I would expect of you this week. And then for the following week, then I'll ask you for the next week's homework to go over this in pen in the style of Patrick Caulfield, and add the colour in his style. But this homework is really, really just to help you to remember how to use that vanishing point, how to find it, so you get your ruler to figure out where the vanishing point is, extending those lines, and then draw things out using the vanishing point. So drawing in perspective, what we learnt last term, just trying to remember all those techniques.